please come to order. This afternoon we're having a hearing which we've looked forward to discuss the findings and recommendations and the hard work and the final report of the Commission to review the effectiveness of the National Energy Laboratories. Senator Feinstein will each have an opening statement, and then I'll recognize each senator for an opening statement if they would like to do that, and in the order in which they arrived, and then we'll hear from the witnesses, and then we'll proceed into a conversation. I'd first like to thank our witnesses for being here today, and also Senator Feinstein. This is Senator Feinstein's idea. When the Democrats win a majority, she's the chairman of this committee, and she was in 2014, or as we consider the 2014 Appropriations Act, which was 2 years ago. And she thought it would be, and I agreed with her, a good idea to have an independent commission take a look at the effectiveness of our national laboratories. We have 17 of these laboratories. 10 include Office of Science laboratories. 3 are weapons labs managed by the National Nuclear Security Administrations, and 4 applied energy laboratories. 1 each that does work for the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, the Office of Environmental Management, the Office of Fossil Energy, and the Office of Nuclear Energy. So all that's under the Department of Energy. The national laboratories employ about 55,000 people. They received approximately $11.7 billion in new funding from the Department of Energy in fiscal year 2014. Our national laboratory system is critical to our nation's competitiveness, national security, and way of life. They're the engines that help create new cutting-edge technologies that can transform our economies. For example, the development of unconventional gas was enabled in part by 3D mapping at Sandia National Laboratory in New Mexico and the Department of Energy's large-scale demonstration project, which proved that the technology worked. Then our free enterprise system and our private system of ownership of mineral rights capitalized on this basic energy research by the federal government and created a natural gas boom that is shaping America's energy policy and reshaping it, and it appears it will do so for decades. I saw recently another example at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, which is supported in this case by the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. Additive manufacturing. This is 3D printing. In this case, they're printing everything from tooling machines to robotic arms as well as airplane parts. I saw a whole car that had been printed by a 3D printer. It's hard to imagine that. Monday I was in Memphis at a medical device company, and they're using the 3D printers to print the tools that are used for knee replacements. In other words, a physician needs a certain cut, so they were telling me, to be able to replace your knee. So if I were to have my knee replaced, they would use a 3D printer and make the cut that fit exactly my knee. It's precision medicine using devices, apparently. And according to this medical device manufacturer, all our knee replacements could be done that way if doctors wish to do that. The advantage of it, of course, is it means the doctor doesn't make any kind of mistake in making the cut, because the cut's tailored exactly to the needs of the patient. So 3D printing has a way of transforming our manufacturing in this country and around the world in the same way that unconventional gas has our energy policy. And in both cases, this sort of basic research and development is done in our national laboratories. National laboratories develop and maintain our supercomputers, and one day, hopefully soon, we'll achieve breakthroughs in exascale computing. Those computers will be capable of a 1,000-fold increase in sustained performance over today's petascale computers, which have been operating since 2008. The commissions did a good job. Senator Feinstein and I had an interim report, which we appreciated, from the chairman, you did what we asked in that you made specific recommendations, 36 of them for Congress, some for the Department of Energy and the administration to consider that could maximize the potential of our national laboratory system. If we can ensure the labs are running as effectively as possible, then more money can be spent on research and development, and the national labs can work more easily with private industries to support our 21st century economy and create jobs. I agree with a number of the recommendations in the report, such as our laboratories should be provided the necessary resources to maintain their capabilities and facilities. Both Senator Feinstein and I, regardless of which one of us was chairman of this committee, have supported strong funding for the Office of Science and for basic research. In the Senate Energy and Water Appropriations Bill that she and I reported out this year in a bipartisan way, we funded the Office of Science at the highest level ever in our appropriations bill. Third-party financing, you suggested, should be utilized for appropriate situations. I'd like to talk more about that. I agree with it. At Oak Ridge National Laboratory, the Computational Sciences Building, the Energy Science Building, the Research Office Building, the Multi-Program Research Facility are 4 examples of such success. In our experience, it saved money, it saved time, and it helped us move ahead more effectively. Maintaining the facilities at the laboratories that are used by scientists, researchers, and manufacturers is also of critical importance for executing the science mission. For example, in fiscal year 2015 alone, the Spallation neutron source had 800 users. The high-flux isotope reactor had 450. The Oak Ridge Leadership Computing Facility had 1,000 scientists from all over the world use the supercomputing facilities, which is home to the Titan supercomputer and several other advanced computing systems. Since approximately 2006, these user facilities at Oak Ridge have been host to 24,000 users, and that's just at one national laboratory. These facilities turn research and development into jobs that support 21st century economy. The report highlights the importance of maintaining separate and independent facilities for our weapons labs. I was also pleased to see a strong endorsement of laboratory-directed research and development programs. These give the directors in the laboratories some discretion in making decisions about how to spend the basic research money. Ben Bernanke, our former Fed chairman, wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal October 4th. He said, monetary policy can be important in creating a stronger economy, but monetary policy, the business of the Fed, certainly can't do that alone. As a country, we need to do more to improve worker skills, he said, foster capital investment, and support research and development. Supporting governmental-sponsored basic research is one of the most important things our country can do to encourage innovation, help free enterprise system create good jobs, and make America competitive in a global economy. I look forward to discussing the Commission's recommendations on how to maximize the potential of our 17 national laboratories. With that, I'd like to recognize Senator Feinstein for her statement and thank her for her leadership and good idea of inviting and chartering this commission. Senator Feinstein.